Hey everybody, Don Georgievich here, jobinterviewtools.com. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about group job interviews and how you're supposed to handle those. So I'm going to go over a few tips today that are going to help you stand out a lot better in a group job interview and hopefully get you the second job interview, which is really the most important thing. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so you have a group interview. This is a relatively new type of job interview. I've really only heard of it within the last year where employers have been doing group job interviews. And a group job interview, I mean, I've never really been on one, but a group job interview is where they stick, like 20 people in a room and they interview them all, 20 different candidates. Frankly, I don't see the benefit of that. I mean, it seems more like some crazy science experiment to me. Sticking all those people in and watching them interact and seeing which one rises to the top. I don't know. Maybe they find something good in that. I don't really know. But anyway, it sounds like you have one. I'm sorry you have one. I don't agree with them. But I'm going to try to help you out, okay? So anyway, treat this as a casual interview. I'm not saying wear casual attire or anything like that. Go in there as a suit. But I think you're not going to have to be as formal as you normally would on an interview. I mean, you have 20 people in a room. It's going to be more of a social setting. One of the key things here is you're going to be interacting with other candidates. So try to be a little bit tight-lipped. Don't let other candidates know what your plans are for the job. But on the other side, I want you to kind of ask them what their plans are. I want you to do a little bit of detective work and socialize with them. Find out, why they're here. The key here, I think, is to really play strategically. You want to go out, you want to talk to other candidates, you want to find out why they're here, what their experience is, ask them questions, about their backgrounds, stuff like that, what really brought them here. And then you want to turn around and you want to use all of that information to boost your own candidacy for the job. Okay? Now, but be careful because, if they got 20 people in a room, they're probably not a bunch of idiots. They're going to be scoping you out too, just as much as you are trying to scope out them. So just be aware of that. Try to stay 2 steps ahead of them. Keep in mind here, the goal is not to go in and do this corny interview. The goal here is to put on a performance so you get a second private interview with the employer so you can get the job. Because you're not going to get the job going in there on your first interview. I mean, definitely not this time. Sticking 20 people in a room, you're not going to get the job the first time. The key here is to get the second interview so you can work over the employer and then get the job. Now, so you're going to do this, you're going to want to talk to the employer as much as you can. You don't want to be out there socializing with all the people, most of the time. And then you also don't want to be talking to the employer the whole time because the employer is going to be watching you. And let's say this is for a sales job. If you're not out there socializing with all of the other candidates in the room, they're going to think you're kind of antisocial. And if this is for a sales job, that's just not going to fit in too well. So you're going to kind of want to balance your time a little bit. You're going to want to talk to the employer. You're going to want to talk to the other candidates. You kind of want to play their game a little bit and show them that you're willing to do kind of whatever it takes to get the job. So play the game just long enough so you can get the second interview. Now, you're going to need to kind of balance your conversations to the employer and the other candidates. Like I said, keep it about 50-50. Go back and forth, go back and forth. Now, you're going to need to be different. I mean, think about it. You've got 20 people. They're all in the same room. They're all doing the same thing. Who is the employer going to pick? They're going to be standing back, kind of like, I almost imagine this like scientist with, white jackets on, and seeing, which person really stands out from the crowd. I think that's going to be a lot of the reason, a lot of the way that they decide who they're going to pick. Of course, as well as with conversations too that they have with you. I mean, if you're not all that, good of a speaker or anything like that when you're talking to them, that might be a nick against you. Now, I mean, since group interviews, they're really so new, I don't think there's any right or wrong way. I think the key here is to be social. I mean, you're in a social setting with all these people. So talk to those people. But you are going to have to be a little bit more private. You're going to have to be aware that other people are going to be trying to pry information out of you. And I'm not talking about the employer. I'm talking about the other candidates. They're going to be digging into you. They're going to try to find out why you're here, what experiences you have, maybe what your plans are for the job. And, if you start talking, getting loose with the tongue, and you start telling them about what your plans are for the job, they're going to take that, and if they like that, they're going to take that information and they're going to tell the employer, that their plans for the job are, blank. And that's only going to improve their candidacy, and it's going to hurt you. It's going to help them elevate their candidacy, and yours just isn't going to go anywhere. So, there's so many ways a group interview could play out. Like I said, it's a science experiment. You're sticking all these people in one room, and you're going to see, you're going to see what happens. So I can't really predict exactly, what you're going to run into. But in short, what I want you to do, study your competition. Get as much information from you can. Impress the employer. You're going to have to talk to the employer there. You're going to have to tell them about your experience. Try to do that. Try to do it privately if you can. I don't know if you're going to get the opportunity for that, but try to have maybe a couple of speeches ready. One that you can talk to the employer while other candidates are listening, and then maybe you've got some other things you can say that are more private, when nobody else is around. So hopefully maybe everybody will be standing up, they'll be walking around the room, and it'll be just like kind of like a party, I don't really know what you're going to run into. So what you want to do is you want to impress your employer with your skills, the things that you've done in the past as they relate to the job. You want to stand out so they call you for the second interview. Okay? This is Don Georgievich with JobInterviewTools.com. For more ways to ace your interview, just visit my website. And when you're there, make sure you sign up for my free interviewing class. It's called 7 Days to Mastering the Art of the Interview. And you'll get all kinds of good stuff in your email inbox every day that is going to help you interview better. Good luck to you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.